Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Again. You're faster than this.
I'm too old for this shit.
Well, we go again. Another attempt at 310, and this one is actually in Boston. And as an American, I was only aware of one Boston in Massachusetts, but apparently there's an OG Boston where that Boston got its name from. So I will be attempting to qualify for Boston at Boston. This Boston predates the American Boston by about 500 years, so they definitely have the longevity crown. But people-wise, it's about 1/20th the size of the American city. So the people who left the UK 500 years ago would definitely be impressed. The course looks really promising. It's only about 1,000 runners, but it markets itself as one of the flattest, I think the flattest marathon in all of the UK. So that'll be interesting. And it says, looking at some Strava data, it's maybe like 160, 170 feet compared to all the other ones I've done. It's actually far better. I think Valencia is like 170. London was like 450. Amsterdam was something like 250. Paris was 550 or so. So this one should definitely be really flat. It's also kind of out through the fields across the countryside. So it'll be interesting to see how windy it gets out there as we go. My last marathon was in December at the Goodwood track, and that fell apart at about 17 miles with a lot of hamstring tightness and soreness. So I knew I needed a plan for that as well to make any chance of this working out. So I came into this block with two prongs. One, figure out my hamstrings, and for that I started looking all around for masseuses and other things I might start getting twice a week, and how could I budget for this. And then I finally decided why don't I just try a massage gun. I don't know why it never occurred to me before, but I guess I thought people who bought them, it was just placebo, or they were just doing it because they like buying kit. But I bought that and it's helped so much. Hamstrings feel so much better, so I seem to be doing that a lot. And the second prong I'm working on is just overall fitness. So my last block, the 10 weeks before the race, not including the taper, I was averaging about 65 miles. But this block, the 10 weeks before, we'll see where it nets out, but the plan is to come in at about 75 miles per week. So that'll be really solid in terms of just getting the overall fitness there. I'm currently 7 weeks into this training block, and I've done weeks of 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, and then a deload week. Went out to Portugal, so had a few days off. And then next week I have the Cambridge half. So that'll be a really good test of overall fitness and see where I'm at. Hopefully coming in around 127 somewhere. And then 5 more weeks until Boston from there. So we'll see if the overall mileage can make the difference. 75 miles a week. I have a lot of people, make sure I don't bang my head on this thing. A lot of people telling me 75 miles a week. What are you training for, 250? I know. Sadly, I just need to run that much to have any shot of running a 3:08 or under. So since I can without getting injured, I'm doing that as much as possible. This week I did my first ever like long run at steady pace, which was definitely interesting. So it was like a pace 40 seconds slower than marathon. So I was shooting for like, you get 45 seconds. I was shooting for like 755 miles ish, and it worked out pretty well. I did 3 miles easy, and then went into what was supposed to be like 16 to 18 miles at steady. But since I was gonna have to do 3 miles to get home at the end, I figured why not just do a full marathon. So I ended up doing 20 at steady, and then after 20 at steady, did the 3 easy. So I managed to do the whole marathon in 3:35 on the watch, but there was about 3 minutes of time waiting at traffic lights on the way there and on the way back. So 3:38. There's a solid training run, but next day still feeling pretty good. So next week we got Cambridge. Great chance to see what sort of time I can put down, what that might equate to for the full. Evidently I'm doing some sort of series this spring of American named cities and their UK counterparts. So we'll see how Cambridge goes. Subscribe to see how that one goes and how I go at qualifying for Boston at Boston.